from 6:30 on BBC One.
From Newsroom South East, the main stories this evening. British Rail have launched an investigation after 2 children were badly burnt by a 25,000-volt overhead cable on the main Euston Railway line in North London. 9-year-old Kevin Finch is in intensive care with burns to his arms and face, while his 12-year-old sister Kerry is being treated for burns to her legs. The accident happened as the children stood on a wall beside the line. Neighbours say a fence that should have prevented the children climbing on the wall had been broken for years. Police have named a woman pedestrian who was killed in an accident in West London earlier today. 76-year-old Judith Quinn from Fulham died when 2 cars collided on the A3 at Roehampton Vale. Londoners are taking second place in the queue for many hip replacement operations at Charing Cross Hospital, according to the Labour Party. They say a contract secured by Exeter Health Authority means that Exeter patients can have operations at Charing Cross within 12 months, but people in the capital could wait 2 years. But the hospital says contracts like this are not new and have no effect on waiting lists. Police in South London are appealing for help in tracing a missing 3-month-old baby boy who has a heart condition. A man was seen putting the child, dressed in a white christening robe, into a car in Brixton yesterday, and neither has been seen since. Thieves may have used a crane to steal a marble statue worth around £40,000 from the shop at Rochester in Kent. The 7-foot-high figure of a woman was stolen from quick sale in Rochester High Street. Cricket, and a 53-year-old record was broken in Canterbury today. Kent captain Mark Benson and his opening partner Neil Taylor scored 300 against Derbyshire, passing the county's previous best opening stand of 283. And your BBC local radio station will be on the air until midnight. That's all from Newsroom South East. Now the weather with Ian McCaskill.
Hello. Now this is a huge area of high pressure. It's been there for weeks, and it's going to give basically dry weather over Britain for the rest of this week too. Having said that, there was a little line of showers developed over western parts of England and the Welsh borders this afternoon. More of that in just a moment. But that's the way the weather chart looks, with the high pressure very much in charge today and for the next few days. It's drifting slowly northwards though, and that will allow a rather more pronounced northeasterly flow to develop over the British Isles. So it will feel cooler as we go through the week in the eastern half of Britain. The best of the weather, and the warmest weather too, is going to be over the western part of Britain over the next few days. Meanwhile, it's not completely dry. You can see on the radar that line of showers in western parts of England and East Wales. It actually gave half an inch of rain in Morecambe this afternoon, but most places stayed completely dry. A few spots of rain through the night. Most places, in fact, dry and rather misty. Later on in the night, some more rain and drizzle getting to the far northwest of Scotland too. But with all this cloud, for most of us, a pretty mild night. The temperatures will drop in parts of the northeast as low as 5 Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, well, a lot of clouds over England and Wales to start with, a little bit of drizzle and mist in places as well. And there'll be some drizzle and rain in the far northwest of Scotland. Most of Britain, however, will be dry. It'll be quite bright over central parts of Scotland. It'll become brighter too as we go through the day in many places, especially in the west. So the best of the sunshine is going to be through the day. Further rain and drizzle in the far northwest of Scotland. Even the cloudy south and east becoming just a little bit brighter as we go through the day. And the winds from the northeast rather more definite than they have been just lately, especially down in the English Channel. And temperatures in the east, as a result, really quite cool, 12 to 14 Celsius. The best of the temperatures in the west, 17 to as high as 19 Celsius in places. Mainly dry again on Wednesday, some drizzle in the northeast, a few showers inland, and a few showers inland on Thursday as well. The sunniest weather in the west.
Jose Carreras and some close friends from the world of opera can be found in concert and superb voice over on BBC Two in a minute.
As always, BBC Television will be bringing you the best in sport this summer, and to avoid missing out on the action, you must get your copy of the Radio Times. It's the guide to TV and radio. This week, read about England's great batting hope Graham Hick as he prepares for a long-awaited Test debut against the West Indies.
It's going to be a great summer. Make sure you don't miss it.
Don't miss out on the best in TV and radio. Radio Times, if it's on, it's in.
Tuesday evening on One starts with the Boswells and bread. Then at 7:30 in EastEnders, things are hotting up, especially for Sammy.
I want to sleep with Ricky. What?
family concern for Pike's health at 8.
Look what happened when I tried to cure his sinus.
Yes, well, perhaps he just didn't like sleeping with a hot water bottle on his head.
3 more contestants get their big break with Jim at 8:30.
Yes, Sugar, yes, yes.
And all good things at 9:30 doesn't include Shirley's marriage counselling.
Why, you didn't stab the way Lucy was Wendy Bishop. Then I haven't seen him since he moved in with Wendy Bishop.
Then at 10:20, actor Michael Cashman gives a personal view of attitudes towards gays.
Ordinary men and women made extraordinary by society's obsession with what we supposedly do in bed.
At 11, Barry Norman's films are Silence of the Lambs, starring Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster, and Cher's new film, Mermaid. Dive into Tuesday evening on BBC One.
Now on One, top film entertainment as we play Cops and Robbers, Strictly for Laughs, with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.